Lincoln Hayes had always known he was different, even before the word gay became a weapon wielded against him in the dusty corners of his small Arizona town. Growing up in the shadow of the Grand Canyon, where the red rocks whispered secrets of ancient times, he learned early to hide his truths. His parents had died in a car crash when he was 10, leaving him with his grandparents, stern, God-fearing folks who ran a roadside diner off Route 66, serving greasy burgers to truckers and tourists chasing the American dream. Grandpa Earl was a Vietnam vet with a Bible in one hand and a shotgun in the other, preaching about sin and salvation over Sunday dinners. Grandma Ruth baked apple pies that could win county fairs, but her love came with conditions sharper than her kitchen knives. They raised Lincoln with calloused hands and rigid rules, teaching him to fix engines, shoot cans off fences, and pray away the demons. But no amount of prayer could erase the way his heart raced when he stole glances at boys in gym class, or the secret crush he harbored on Jake, the quarterback with a smile like summer lightning. It all unraveled on his 18th birthday. Lincoln had mustered the courage to come out, inspired by a late-night binge of queer stories on Netflix that made him feel seen for the first time. He sat them down in the living room, the air thick with the scent of pot roast, and spilled his soul. "I'm gay," he said, voice trembling but steady. "I like guys. It's who I am." The silence that followed was deafening. Grandpa's face twisted into a mask of rage, his knuckles white on the armrest. "No grandson of mine is a faggot," he spat, the word landing like a slap. Grandma wept, clutching her rosary, murmuring about hellfire and eternal damnation. They dragged him to church the next day, where Pastor Reeves performed an exorcism that left Lincoln bruised and broken, but unbent. Weeks turned into a nightmare of conversion therapy sessions disguised as family counseling. Lincoln endured the lectures, the forced dates with girls from church, the isolation. But his spirit flickered like a candle in the wind. Then he met Alex. Alex Rivera was a breath of fresh air in the stifling heat of summer. A college student from California, interning at the national park, with sun-kissed skin, dark curls, and eyes that sparkled like the Pacific Ocean. They crossed paths at the diner, where Alex ordered a milkshake and left a tip that included his number scribbled on a napkin. "You look like you could use a friend," it read. Their first date was under the stars, parked in Lincoln's beat-up Chevy, sharing stories of dreams deferred. Alex spoke of San Francisco's vibrant pride parades, of love without shame. Lincoln opened up about his fears, his family. When their lips met, it was like fireworks exploding over the canyon, electric, inevitable. For the first time, Lincoln felt whole. But secrets in small towns have short lives. A nosy neighbor spotted them holding hands by the river. Word spread like wildfire. Grandpa confronted Lincoln that night, rifle in hand. "Pack your bags, boy. We're going for a drive." They drove deep into the desert, hours from civilization, the AC blasting country gospel. Lincoln thought it was another tough love trip, like the camping excursions where Grandpa taught him survival skills. But when they stopped at a desolate pullout, the truth hit like a sandstorm. "Get out," Grandpa ordered, his voice cold as steel. Lincoln laughed nervously. "What? Grandpa? Come on. Out." Grandma sobbed from the passenger seat, but her eyes were hard. "We've prayed, Lincoln. This is God's will. Walk it off. Find your way back to righteousness, or don't come back at all." They sped away, dust clouding the horizon, leaving him with nothing but the clothes on his back. No phone, no water, no map. The temperature gauge in the truck had read 115 degrees. Lincoln stood there, stunned, as the reality sank in, abandoned, for being himself. He started walking, the sun scorching his skin, mirages dancing like cruel jokes. Hours blurred into agony. His mouth turned to cotton, his vision swam. Memories of Alex kept him going, the way he'd whisper, "I love you," in Spanish, "Te amo," promising a future in the city where they could be free. By nightfall, Lincoln collapsed behind a boulder, shivering in the sudden cold. Stars wheeled overhead, indifferent witnesses. He thought of the American dream his grandparents chased, built on freedom yet chained by hate. How could love be a sin? Exhaustion claimed him, but in his dreams, Alex's arms wrapped around him, a beacon in the dark. The next morning, thirst clawed at his throat. He licked dew from rocks, rationed his strength. Blisters formed on his feet, but he pressed on, following the faint outline of distant mountains. Doubt crept in. Was he worth saving? Had he brought this on himself? A rattlesnake's warning hiss snapped him alert. He froze, heart pounding, as it slithered away. Survival mode kicked in, lessons from Grandpa ironically saving him now. He fashioned a shade from his shirt, conserved energy. But hope waned with each step. Then, a miracle. The distant hum of an engine. A park ranger's jeep crested a dune. Lincoln waved frantically, collapsing as help arrived. Dehydrated, sunburned, but alive. In the hospital, tubes snaking into his arms, Lincoln learned the rangers had been alerted by an anonymous tip. Alex, his heart soared. But when the door opened, it was the police. Grandpa and Grandma had been arrested for child endangerment. Lincoln was still a minor by days. The story hit local news. Grandparents abandon gay grandson in desert hell. Shame and relief warred within him. Visitors came, neighbors with awkward apologies, church folk with judgmental eyes. But no Alex. Calls went unanswered. Worry gnawed at Lincoln. Where was he? Discharged after a week, Lincoln moved into a foster home in Phoenix, a sprawling city of palm trees and opportunity. The desert ordeal had scarred him, but it also forged a resolve like tempered steel. Therapy sessions helped unpack the trauma, the internalized hate. "You're not broken," his counselor said. "You're brave." He enrolled in community college, studying environmental science, ironic given how the land nearly claimed him. Nights were haunted by flashbacks. The endless sand, the betrayal. But dreams of Alex persisted, a romantic anchor in the storm. They'd met again after the diner flirtation, sneaking dates in hidden canyons. Alex, with his easy laugh and activist spirit, had ignited Lincoln's passion. "Love is love," he'd say, quoting marriage equality slogans. Their intimacy was tender, exploratory. Stolen kisses evolving into nights of whispered confessions under motel sheets. Alex promised to take Lincoln to LA, to Pride, to a life unbound. But post-rescue, Alex ghosted. Texts bounced back, social media silent. Lincoln's heart ached, a fresh wound atop old ones. Was it fear? Pressure from his own family? The news coverage had outed them both. Desperate, Lincoln drove to the park where Alex interned. The office was empty. His supervisor shrugged. "Kid left suddenly," said family emergency back in Cali. Betrayal stung like salt in a cut. Had Alex abandoned him too? The thought fueled a spiral. Nights of cheap whiskey in dive bars, flirting with strangers to numb the pain. One hookup turned sour, leaving him bruised and regretting. "This isn't you," he told his reflection, eyes hollow. Then a breakthrough, an email from a lawyer. His grandparents' trial loomed. They faced felony charges, potential prison. Lincoln was subpoenaed to testify. Panic surged. Confront them? Relive the horror? He sought solace in Phoenix's LGBTQ center, a haven of rainbow flags and supportive faces. There, he met Tyler, a volunteer with a gentle smile and stories of his own coming-out wars. Tyler was older, wiser, with tattoos mapping his journeys. Their conversation sparked something. Not fireworks like Alex, but a steady flame. As the trial neared, Lincoln trained for it like a boxer. He wrote letters he never sent, pouring out rage and love. "You raised me, but you broke me. Why couldn't you see me?" Court day arrived in a stuffy Maricopa County courtroom. Grandpa looked frail in his orange jumpsuit, Grandma's eyes red-rimmed. The prosecutor painted a vivid picture. Abandonment in lethal heat, motivated by homophobia. Defense argued misguided discipline, a tough love gone wrong. Lincoln took the stand, voice steady despite trembling hands. "They left me to die because I'm gay. In 115 degrees, no water. I walked for miles, thinking of every prayer they taught me. But love isn't a choice, hate is." The courtroom hushed. Grandma sobbed openly. Grandpa stared at the floor. The jury deliberated hours, returning guilty verdicts. Sentencing, probation, community service, mandatory counseling. No prison considering their age. Outside, reporters swarmed. "How do you feel?" one asked. "Freed," Lincoln replied, a weight lifting. But closure eluded him. Alex's absence gnawed. Digging deeper, Lincoln hired a PI with settlement money from a civil suit against his grandparents. The report shattered him. Alex had been paid off. Grandpa, before the arrest, had tracked him down, offered cash to disappear. Protect the family name, the note read. Rage boiled. Betrayed by blood, now by love? He confronted Alex via a found address in L.A. Driving through the night, Lincoln arrived at a modest apartment in West Hollywood. Alex opened the door, shock paling his face. Link? Oh God. You took the money? Lincoln accused, voice cracking. Alex crumpled. I was scared. My folks threatened to cut me off. I thought you'd understand. Wait it out. Understand? I almost died. Tears streamed. But in Alex's eyes, Lincoln saw remorse, fear mirroring his own. They talked till dawn, unraveling lies. Alex confessed his cowardice, the pressure. I love you, but I failed you. Forgiveness didn't come easy, but in that vulnerability, romance flickered anew. They shared a tentative kiss, laced with salt and promise. Lincoln stayed the weekend, exploring the city, hand in hand at a gay bar, dancing under neon lights. America felt bigger, kinder. Back in Phoenix, Tyler waited. Missed you, he said over coffee. Lincoln smiled. I needed closure. Their bond deepened. Walks in the botanical gardens, movie nights debating rom-coms. Tyler's touch was steady, his love uncomplicated. No drama, just quiet support. But Alex's pull lingered. Texts resumed, apologies turning flirtatious. Lincoln found himself torn, a romantic tug-of-war. High drama ensued. A surprise visit from Alex, leading to a heated argument with Tyler. Choose, Tyler demanded, hurt flashing. Lincoln's heart fractured. Was love meant to be this chaotic? In the midst of turmoil, his grandparents reached out via letter. We're sorry. Counseling opened our eyes. We'd like to talk. Skeptical, Lincoln met them at a neutral cafe. Grandpa's hands shook. We were wrong. Fear blinded us. You're our boy always. Grandma hugged him fiercely. We love you, Lincoln. All of you. Tears flowed. Reconciliation tentative but real. Human hearts, flawed yet capable of change. Emboldened by family mending, Lincoln dove into activism. He spoke at schools, sharing his story to prevent others' pain. Headlines shifted. Desert survivor advocates for LGBTQ youth. Pride events became his sanctuary, marching with flags waving like victory banners. Romance, however, remained a battlefield. Alex proposed a fresh start in LA, glamorous, tempting. We can build something real, he urged, eyes pleading. Tyler offered stability in Phoenix, roots, reliability. I won't run, he promised. The conflict peaked at a weekend getaway. Lincoln invited both, unbeknownst to them, to a cabin in Sedona's Red Rocks. A misguided attempt at clarity. Tensions exploded over dinner. Alex accused Tyler of being safe but boring. Tyler called Alex flaky and selfish. Fists nearly flew. Lincoln stormed out, hiking into the night. Stars mocked him, reminiscent of that fateful desert. Why can't love be simple? He yelled at the void. A vision clarified. Love wasn't about perfection, but growth. He returned, choosing neither. I need to love myself first. Heartbroken but empowered, he focused on healing. Therapy deepened. Friendships bloomed. He volunteered at shelters, helping queer kids escaping abuse, mirrors of his past. Months later, fate intervened. At a national LGBTQ conference in San Francisco, Lincoln presented his story. Applause thundered. In the audience, Alex, reformed, now an advocate himself. They reconnected over coffee, no expectations. I messed up, Alex admitted, but I've changed. Therapy activism, it's real. Lincoln nodded. Me too. Their reunion was cautious, built on honesty. Dates followed, picnics in Golden Gate Park, walks along the bay. Romance reignited, deeper, laced with lessons learned. But drama lurked. Alex's ex resurfaced, jealous and manipulative, spreading rumors online. Lincoln's past trauma triggered paranoia. A public spat at a gala escalated shouts, tears, paparazzi flashes. "Is this worth it?" Lincoln demanded. Alex knelt. "Yes, because I love you, flaws and all." They weathered it, emerging stronger. Meanwhile, Tyler found love elsewhere, remaining friends. "You're meant for fireworks," he teased. Back home, Lincoln's grandparents evolved. They attended a PFLAG meeting, awkward but earnest. Grandpa even marched in a local pride parade, sign reading, "Proud grandpa of a gay grandson." Media ate it up, redemption arc personified. Yet, shadows persisted. A health scare, Grandma's heart attack, brought fragility into focus. Lincoln rushed to the hospital, holding her hand. "I forgive you," he whispered. Recovery bonded them. Family dinners resumed, sans judgment. Stories shared. Grandpa's war traumas, Grandma's lost dreams. Understanding bridged gaps. Lincoln's career soared. He wrote a memoir, Desert Heart, chronicling survival and love. Bestseller lists beckoned. Royalties funded scholarships for queer youth. With Alex, they moved to a cozy LA bungalow, adopting a rescue dog named Mojave. Domestic bliss. Cooking tacos, binge-watching shows, planning a future. But high stakes loomed, marriage equality threats from politics, reminding them vigilance was key. A climax brewed when Alex's family disowned him fully, echoing Lincoln's pain. Devastated, Alex spiraled into depression. Lincoln stood firm, nursing him back. "We're family now," he affirmed. Their love, tested by fire, shone brighter. A proposal under desert stars, full circle. "Will you marry me?" Alex asked, ring glinting. "Yes," Lincoln breathed, tears of joy. But life twisted again. On wedding eve, a call, Grandpa's passing. Stroke, peaceful. Grief crashed like waves. Lincoln flew home, Alex by his side. Funeral was bittersweet. Eulogies honored a changed man. "He learned love late but deeply," Lincoln said. Inheritance surprised, the diner with a note. "Make it yours. Serve love with every meal." Lincoln transformed it into a queer-friendly cafe, rainbow flags fluttering. Community hub, symbol of hope. The wedding unfolded in the Grand Canyon's embrace, an intimate ceremony at sunrise. Vows exchanged amid ancient rocks, witnesses to resilience. "In heat and cold, we'll stand together," Lincoln promised. Honeymoon in Hawaii. Beaches, luau's, unbridled passion. Back in LA, they navigated married life. Careers, arguments, makeups. Alex pursued law, fighting for LGBTQ rights. Lincoln's book tour took him nationwide, inspiring thousands. Challenges arose. Adoption dreams hit bureaucratic walls, homophobic policies lingering. They fought, protesting, lobbying. Finally, approval. Twin boys from foster care, mirroring Lincoln's journey. Parenthood transformed them. Sleepless nights, first steps, school plays. Papa Link and Daddy Alex became their world. The boys learned early. Love knows no bounds. Years passed. Lincoln's grandparents' legacy endured. Grandma, now in assisted living, video called weekly, doting on great-grandsons. "You've built something beautiful," she said, pride swelling. A poignant moment. Returning to the desert spot of abandonment. Now a family picnic, reclaiming the land. "This is where I almost lost everything," Lincoln told the boys. "But love found me." Alex squeezed his hand. "And it always will." The story spread wider. A documentary. From desert to dawn. Humanizing the struggle. Awards followed, but fulfillment came from impact. Letters from youth saying, "You saved me." In quieter times, Lincoln reflected on the American tapestry. Flawed, vibrant, evolving. From Route 66 diners to Hollywood Hills, his path wove through pain to purpose. One evening, watching sunset with Alex, boys asleep inside, Lincoln whispered, "We made it." Alex smiled. "And we'll keep making it." Their love, once fragile, now unbreakable. A testament to human spirit. In a nation grappling with division, their tale whispered hope. Change is possible, love endures. As stars emerged, Lincoln felt peace. No more no hope, just endless possibility. The wedding's afterglow lingered, but real life intruded with its messiness. Alex's caseload swelled with anti-LGBTQ legislation battles, leaving him exhausted. Lincoln balanced writing sequels to his memoir with PDA meetings, the boy's energy a whirlwind. Conflicts arose as in any marriage. A forgotten anniversary sparked a blowout, accusations of neglect flying. "You're always the hero in your stories," Alex snapped. "What about us?" Lincoln recoiled, old insecurities surfacing. Therapy sessions revisited, tools honed from past traumas. They emerged closer, communication sharpened. Grandma's health declined, leading to her passing peacefully at 85. Lincoln inherited family heirlooms, including her recipe book. He published it, proceeds to charities, honoring her redemption. The boys grew curious, kind. One came out as non-binary in teens, testing family bonds. Lincoln and Alex supported fiercely, drawing from experience. "We're here," they assured. Activism evolved. Lincoln testified before Congress on hate crimes, his desert story a powerful narrative. Change came incrementally, laws passed, minds opened. Romance never faded. Surprise getaways, love notes, intimate nights. "You're my oasis," Alex murmured. In twilight years, they retired to a desert ranch, ironic sanctuary. Grandkids visited, stories retold around campfires. Lincoln's final book, Echoes of the Desert, a love letter to life. In 115 degrees, no water, no hope. I found all three within. Passing in each other's arms, their legacy lived. A world a bit kinder, love's triumph over hate. Humanity's arc bends toward justice, one story at a time.